Welcome to HTR, How To Remodeler, JOMA series for remodelers, learning the trades and the trade of remodeling and that sort of thing. And Mackenzie's on that side of the camera today with John, because today we're talking about marketing. And this is our marketing team here. How did you guys get into the marketing that we're doing here at JOMA?
Believe it or not, I originally was encouraged by an employee here to apply to be a carpenter. And I was looking for a career shift and applied to JOMA. And when I got to my interview, I brought basically an example of all the carpentry work I had done around my own house, because I wasn't a very experienced carpenter. And it was in the form of a brochure kind of like this. And John looked at that and he...
Wait, you brought a brochure of your personal carpentry work to the interview to get a job, a brochure, an actual brochure.
Yeah, a paper brochure.
Okay.
And I guess John looked at it and was like, we want more of these, we want this. And he was talking about the physical brochure. And this is actually the brochure that I made as a pre-work test. This was the very first thing I designed for JOMA.
Oh, really?
Yep.
And I think my exact words were, you're not going to be a carpenter, you're going to be a marketer.
Really? So you knew it immediately. You're like, oh, great. Were you looking for a marketing person at that time?
Yeah, so that was about 9 years ago. We had started just doing very, very basic stuff. I think we had a few years before actually created a Facebook account and maybe even a YouTube account. And we were just doing very, very basic stuff, you know, taking some before and after pictures, some progress pictures. I think I even attempted to do a couple videos with people. Those are still online, so you can probably find them on our channel somewhere way down at the end. And so we recognized that marketing and the internet was, you know, really going to be the platform that we could reach our audience in the most effective way. I think either right before that or shortly after Mackenzie came on, we had started working with a consultant, and they were really focused on online marketing and being able to target, you know, our audience in the, you know, the location where we are and everything that goes into that. And I think Mackenzie can talk a little bit more about how that works. But yeah, so we were kind of in that early phase of getting into it, and I recognize that he obviously had skills not only as a carpenter, but as somebody who could, you know, put together the type of materials that we were looking to have, and he was it. So.
Yeah, because I remember about around that time, 9 years ago was when I started, and we had yard signs, and there's that giant sign that's in the hall, and that was basically the entire marketing for the company. And then you came in, you brought a brochure. So how did you grow the marketing from that point to where it is now? Because now we have videos and YouTube channels and all this stuff. So how did that grow? What was that process like?
Yeah, John definitely had a vision for that online content right off the bat, and we did work with a coaching company that had some fundamental marketing education that they provided for us. So that got us off to the right start, where we just knew we needed to make video content that was relevant to what we were doing and post it online, and essentially everything was trial and error and a test, and it still is to this day, but we've gotten pretty good at making the content, strategizing, and putting it in the right place. And then, of course, what was always important to John and the coaching company was to measure the results. Having, you know, regular KPIs that we look at helps guide the content, it helps guide the strategy, it helps us keep moving step by step forward because we see good results. And yeah, we really haven't changed our strategy much from day one, except we've gotten much better at it.
So what is the linear progress of that, from going from the signs, just yard signs, to more expansive marketing kind of stuff? How would you?
Well, I think there are really kind of two things that drove us and that still do drive us. Like Mackenzie said, trial and error. I mean, we certainly do try a lot of stuff, and some of it might be, oh, hey, we're seeing a lot of these types of videos online, and they're getting a lot of views and a lot of engagement. And so sometimes we will, put our spin on it. And again, across different platforms, we try to gear the content towards the platform. Maybe the specific audience that are on those, and the other thing is we have really never been heavy on call to action, like call us now, or get a free quote, or stuff like that. So really kind of trying to show showcase the type of projects that we do, the people that are involved with us, employees, subcontractors, suppliers, and those kinds of things. And really just try to show how, we might be different, than others. And not just that maybe we do more marketing, but, our approach and our process to how we run the projects that we do. So it's a combination of those things, but, again, not really a lot of call today type of stuff.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts about how we've done our marketing, and what it has turned into is pursuing our mission statement. And the marketing department has become an extension of really following our mission statement and sharing that with others. And now we're in this position to even talk to other remodelers about it, which I wouldn't have, felt like we could have a series like this a few years ago, because it felt like such an experiment. But now we've seen the results, and we've kept it pretty regular.
So when you say results, how do you track? Because that's always confusing to me, is because I see you guys on the computer looking at YouTube algorithms, or not, probably not algorithms, but that sort of background stuff, metrics. So how do you, if you were just starting, how would you get into that sort of projection-oriented kind of?
I think that's a great question, and that goes along with something John had mentioned the other day, which is the tools that we use. The platforms provide a really extensive analytical background to anything that you're doing. And that's really their sort of sales pitch, is that they have this robust back end for any user to use. And it's the same for me as it would be for someone just starting out with their own small business, like a photographer or something like that. You can just get on Facebook or YouTube, which is Google Ads, or Instagram, and hit those promote buttons, and you're given a lot of options and feedback. And then what we can look at is everything from our views and impressions, which are really big, fun numbers, all the way down the funnel to our leads, which is obviously the most important thing and what everyone wants to gain through their advertising. So it's really about extracting those numbers and trying to organize them in your own system. Of course, we choose particular metrics that we keep an eye on, but they're easy to find.
One thing to keep in mind is those things always change. Those platforms, they're always evolving. The great thing about technology is it allows us to reach a lot more people, but they're always tweaking, how they do things. So Mackenzie might come in one day and the whole, back-end platform has been rearranged, which might sound like a simple thing, but it all takes time. And, producing the content, like you guys do, there's the preparation, there's the actual production, then there's the editing, then there's the posting and the boosting and all that stuff. So, I think you kind of create a process of going through that, and you can start very simply, pictures before and afters. You get a picture before, you get a picture after, put them together and, post it. But then trying to figure out, what the best use of your marketing dollars are. Like you mentioned, we started with yard signs and, t-shirts, but in our budget, we do have marketing dollars. So we don't just, put posts up and hope people find them. I mean, we really do direct them to our target audience. And that's location, and sometimes it's, different age brackets. And those are all metrics that the platforms do provide. But putting money behind those, just like if you had a billboard, you're going to be paying for the setup, you're going to be paying for monthly. So those are marketing dollars, but you just don't really know who's going to be driving by. Where the online content, by putting money behind that and directing it, to that audience that you work with, gives a much better return on your dollars. But it does take money. I think that, sometimes people just think, hey, I'll take a couple pictures and post them on my Facebook and, everybody will love it and they'll start calling. Maybe, and maybe you'll get lucky and have some awesome viral post and all of that, but we really do invest a lot into that. But you can start small. That's the great thing. And you can, do it as a monetary amount, per day or per week or whatever. But that's important. The money side.
Yeah. $20 though can give you thousands of views that are outside your existing followers. And that's the real key is, of course, you can grow a following, but when you produce content and you don't promote it, just your followers see it. Once you promote it, it goes to a wider audience, and that's what works.
Okay. What else you guys want to talk about?
We can't forget to remind people, though, to subscribe on YouTube. Check out our content on Facebook, and we have a Facebook group for HTR where you can join other remodelers in the discussion, and you can even catch HTR shorts on our Instagram. We put this stuff everywhere. Thanks again, Scott. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
And keep looking up.
Keep looking up.
Perfect. If you like this video, make a comment. If you don't like it, make a comment. But don't forget to share this video with your friends.